So you said something interesting that I don't know if a lot of people will follow is you said, what do you have and how do you own it? What do you mean when you say how do you own it?
Well, how is the piece of property titled? So, right, there's bank accounts, for instance. That's probably the most common thing to people. For most of us, if you have a checking account, well, there's different ways of having a checking account. It's just an individual account. A lot of times they're joint accounts. So it's you and someone else. And with a joint account, you can have, it's essentially equal ownership. In that way, I can take all the money out of it. That other person can take all the money out of it. In spousal situations, that's usually okay. But if we're adding kids or relatives onto the account, that might not be okay. And that comes into play. And we, those discussions traditionally, if, someone else on the account, if they have an accident, that account is exposed to that person's creditors. And so we don't often like doing that. It's a good reason to. And so the ownership of joint account, or maybe that joint account, you just have a beneficiary listed. And again, it goes to that person or people upon your death. That's when we get into ownership as to how it's titled. And titling means, right, the registration on your vehicle. And that's the other thing we think about titles. Titles to vehicles.
Yep.
Titles to houses. That's why titling is important. Boring, but important.